a couple of weeks ago, we were, first of all, we were inside, where it was actually warm.
Oh, good times.
Good times. But we were also talking about the fact that a lot of games, or a couple of games this early year seems to be based around hell. Now it's time for the third game based on hell this winter, and that's Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, it's an action game done by Visual Games. It's a little sort of off-string company that did the surprisingly cool Dead Space, which actually turned out to be, in hindsight, one of my favorite games from last year, which is also one of the reasons why I have really been expecting a lot from Dante's Inferno.
Who is the main character?
Dante, surprisingly, and he is really pissed off. I mean, people really should experience the sort of story that this game gives themselves. I won't ruin it for them because it's so grotesque that it's funny. I mean, let me just tell you that in the start, he pretty much kicks Death's ass and takes his weapon. And from there on, I mean, you just kill everything and leave a wake of bloody mess behind you.
Sounds a bit like another game where you go stomping around on gods and mythological beings, which would be God of War.
No idea how you could draw that comparison, but yeah, I've heard that before. And there's no way around it. I mean, they can go out and say everything that they want to about how God of War may have been one of the inspirations for the game, but it's almost the same game. I mean, I've heard all sorts of explanations trying to explain how this really differs, but the control scheme, many of the moves, the whole balance of the fights, everything is stolen from God of War. But then again, God of War was an amazing game, and this is a clever company, so why not?
The thing that I have to ask when you say something like that is, how does that end up being? Because often when you see people that are inspired by another game to that extent, it doesn't really work out.
No, I think one of the things about when we use words like stolen is that most people seem to think that it's just a really easy job of stealing ideas from a game. Like, for instance, God of War, and transferring to your own game and having just as good a game as a God of War, and it really isn't, which we have seen several times. But Visual Games really is a talented company, and they have more or less ripped off all the good things about God of War, but actually made it so that it works in Dante, which means that the fights, at least for most of the game, are really good, really high, fast-paced, good counter system, pretty cool combos and the sorts. And they have added the small little extras, like you meet certain personalities that has been damned to hell throughout the game, which you're able to either forgive or ban for eternal punishment, and that gives you either good XP or bad XP.
So in short, the gameplay wise, even being a more or less blatant rip-off of God of War, it works.
It does, yeah, it does. And again, why has it got to be such a bad thing that you rip off a game if you do it really cleverly? I mean, yeah, they haven't come up with half of the stuff, but it works.
But let's just get back to the storyline, or not the storyline so much as the concept and what we've seen of the design of Dante's Inferno. It looks pretty, I'm not sure how to say it, but kind of mature adult naked demons.
Yeah, it's really hit and miss. A lot of the designs are really cleverly done and really unique compared to what you've seen before. But then again, a lot of designs are used again and again and again and again and again. And that especially goes for the monsters you'll find, which actually turns out to be like one of my main gripes about the game, that towards the end it feels like you're going through areas and monsters that you have fought and seen countless times before. And the newest effect really goes out of it, which just made me lose interest. It's a good game, it's not the new God of War by any chance. It's really solid because it rips off a really good game and it does it cleverly. But it's good fun, and if you're waiting for the next God of War, which will be released really soon, this is a game that can definitely quench your thirst for this sort of game.